For those nights you took her home, press decline on your phone, left me crying all alone.
Hey everyone, it's Mikayla. So today I'm going to be filming a video about vegan diet mistakes to avoid as much as possible and vegan diet mistakes that people constantly make. The reason why I'm filming this video is because I have seen multiple people attempt the vegan diet and just not enjoy it as much as I do. And something goes wrong for them, but it doesn't go wrong for me. So even though I do believe that everybody's different, obviously, and that everything works differently for different people, like they can't follow the same diet as me necessarily. But I do believe that there's some things that people just don't understand, and then that's why I'm filming this video, is to inform. So if you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name's Mikayla. I think I said that in the intro, and I've been vegan for 2 years and a month now, so I do believe that I have lots of knowledge on the whole vegan topic. So I've made a list on 10 things people make when attempting the vegan diet, and I'm going to talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this and from me, and make sure you follow my social media, which is in this corner. Those are my usernames, so follow me if you want to. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So the very first thing that I want to mention today, is something that you should not worry about, is having a protein deficiency. The body only absorbs about 45 to 57 grams of protein, which is in reality quite a small amount. A lot of people try and aim for like those 70 grams of protein, and well, around that 30 grams of protein isn't actually being absorbed, so it's kind of just going to waste. If you are eating a whole plant-based diet, you have lots of variety in your diet, you should not worry about a protein deficiency. And if you were to obtain a protein deficiency, I would be quite surprised, considering I've never ever heard of somebody having a protein deficiency. I can only see protein being a problem in like third world countries where they don't have any food in general. Foods that are incredibly high in protein include like tofu, soy meal, nuts and legumes. Like there's so many different food items. You do not have to worry about having a protein deficiency, and when trying the vegan diet, that should be the last thing you worry about. The second mistake is that a lot of people just do not eat enough. A lot of people go to the vegan diet when they were restricting their calories beforehand, like they were really watching what they eat. Plant sources are naturally lower in calories, therefore you have to eat enough to be full. You have to eat enough for your body to be satisfied. You cannot restrict your calories on a vegan diet, because then you're literally just asking for failure. You want what you're putting in your body to be enjoyable. You don't want to hate everything that you're eating. You know, obviously animal sources are much higher in calories, much higher in fat. Like you're gonna be full very easily, like very quickly. You're gonna be full, like one bite and boom, you're full. But with the vegan diet, you have to eat so much more, and a lot of people just do not realize that, and they don't make that connection. One of the biggest problems that I've seen in the whole vegan community, well, not even in the vegan community, people trying to be in the vegan community, and it just doesn't work out. And then they try and bash veganism, how it made them sick, you know, but simply you just weren't eating enough, and it's your fault, not the diet. Third mistake is that a lot of people that attempt the vegan diet or go vegan do not have a vitamin called vitamin B12. They do not supplement in vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is only purely found in animal products, and we evolved to have the need for vitamin B12. If you have a vitamin B12 deficiency, or you're just not consuming B12, you can cause permanent damage, and that isn't good. So obviously, since B12 is only found in animal sources, vegans are at a really high risk of developing a B12 deficiency. This can result to permanent nerve damage, and it can also result to anemia in some cases. It's very easy to find a B12 supplement. Literally just go into your pharmacy or even Woolworths, Coles, whatever grocery store, and you will find vegan vitamin B12 supplements. The vitamin B12 supplement that I take, which I mentioned in my product empties, I had used it all up, I got more, is the Nature's Own vitamin B12, high strength vitamin B12. And it does mention on the label that vegans are at a high risk of B12 deficiency, and it does mention that it's vegan on the packaging and on the website. Don't forget about the B12. Fourth mistake is that a lot of people just don't think that there's many vegan options, so they only eat salads a day. Like they only eat a salad, and that's really not sustainable. The fifth one is that honey is not vegan. A lot of people do not realize that honey is not vegan, and the whole honey industry. And a lot of people don't realize how cruel and bad it simply is. I have actually made a video on why honey isn't vegan. I'll link it down below. The sixth mistake is that people forget about iron. So us females, I'm not really sure about males, but us females, we have a period. Well, I am sure that males don't get a period. Anyway, us females, we lose a lot of blood when we go through our period. We therefore lose a lot of iron. We can develop an iron deficiency, which can result to anemia. Like, there's so many problems with an iron deficiency, and it's not something that you should be not focusing on. I would say that it is nearly as important as B12. The only difference is there's a lot of foods that contain iron. There's no foods that contain B12 in the vegan community. There are so many food options if you don't want to go for that supplement that contain iron-rich food. Like, that didn't make sense. There's a lot of foods that are iron rich. That's what I meant to say. Some of those include like beans, dark leafy vegetables, dried fruit, fortified soy milk, peas, broccoli, oats, nuts, and so many more options that a lot of people just don't know about. If you're not able to have a diet that has that much variety in foods, and you're not able to consume iron rich foods every single day, then I would recommend an iron supplement. I have an iron supplement from Nature's Own. The 7th one, which is a massive one, and that's to do with embarrassment. A lot of people are embarrassed to mention that they're on a vegan diet. There is literally nothing to be embarrassed about the vegan diet. Like, you're saving lives, you're helping the environment, you're bettering your health. Like, what is there to be embarrassed about? If you're attempting the vegan diet, do not get embarrassed. Like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Unless you fail on it, then it is quite embarrassing. The 8th one is please do your research. Do not go into the vegan diet unless you have researched non-biased websites or books. You know, I don't think anybody reads vegan books, but you know, there are so many biased websites out there that tell you that veganism is not the way to go, and you need to pick up on whether those websites are biased or not. If the author has no qualifications, then you shouldn't be listening to any word that they say. And if it's just a .com website, generally it's not that factual. And if they don't have their references, once again, don't even bother reading. Do your research, but make sure the websites are not biased and the person actually states what their qualifications are, because sometimes it's just a stay-at-home dad. And if you attempt the vegan diet without any background research and knowledge, then you're asking for failure. The 9th one is a massive one that I've seen so many people do, and it's don't lose motivation to stay vegan if you make a mistake. I have accidentally made multiple mistakes. The only difference is I've learned from them. I've learned that that's not a vegan food, I can't be eating it, you know, and sometimes I'd miss ingredients, you know, sometimes I'd assume something's vegan. So I've done this with medication. I was on my way to Fiji to play soccer last year, and there was a Panadol that was coated in gelatin. I'd never had it before. I was on my way to the airport and I kind of just grabbed it without looking, and I didn't realize it was not vegan until literally it went down my throat. And yes, I was quite sad that that had happened, obviously, because I find it disgusting. Like, I personally just find it gross. That doesn't mean let go of the vegan diet. That means keep going and know what you can't have. The whole vegan diet is just about learning who you are and what the vegan diet is. There's so many things I wish I could change from when I first went vegan, but I can't now. And it's all about learning. And if you accidentally consume a product that does have an animal product in it, just move on and go along with your day. You know, drink tons of water, try and get it out of your system, but once it's in there, there's nothing you can do, and you just gotta keep going. And I've noticed a lot of people on YouTube that are vegan, you know, they've been asked this question, have you accidentally, like, ate something that wasn't vegan? And straight up, they'll say no. And we all know that is a lie. They have made mistakes. That's just how it is. Everyone's made mistakes when attempting the vegan diet, and if somebody says that they haven't made a mistake, they're just flat out lying, because veganism is a whole learning curve. And the very last tip that I have is to double check the ingredients on your food. If it doesn't clearly state on the front of the packaging that it's vegan, just double check. Look out for vitamins. If there's a vegan butter that has vitamin D in it, do your research. It's probably not vegan. It's probably derived from wool. Be careful of that. Same with bread. A lot of bread is not vegan because of the vitamins that they put in there, especially vitamin D. Make sure you check the ingredients. Once again, do your research. And if you don't make any of these mistakes, or you learn from these mistakes, good on you. Like, that's just the whole vegan diet. If you can get through these mistakes, if you've made these mistakes before and you can learn from them, then honestly, good job, like that's amazing. So that pretty much concludes this video. If you want to see more videos like this, like vegan based, obviously I'm vegan, so I have no problem spreading the vegan message. Like I want as many people to go vegan as possible, because that's just pretty much my whole life. Like my whole life is veganism pretty much, and soccer and The Sims at the moment. I've just been constantly playing The Sims 4. That concludes this video. I've said that 3 times now. I'm just gonna go now. Bye.